Hello. Welcome to Real Talk. I am your host, Paul Britton. We're here to talk, to do some movie reviews. The royal me, I am here to do some movie reviews. We have one major release this past weekend, and then a couple of minor releases. I got two movies, so I did the major one and one of the minor ones. It will surprise no common listeners to this podcast that the one I skipped was the Kevin Costner Horizon movie. I may get to it eventually. I have to carve out 3 hours in the next few weeks before it goes bye-bye. I will try. No promises. But the one I definitely was super looking forward to is A Quiet Place Day One. It's the prequel to the super successful monster horror movies. The first one felt like a straight up horror movie. The second one felt a little less horror-y, more like a thriller, I guess. I don't know. We don't have to cubby hole these movies. They're good. They two good movies, and then this one, the prequel. I don't want to spoil my thoughts just yet. So this one, in a change, the John Krasinski, who wrote and directed the first two, although he may not have written the first one. Anyway, John Krasinski, who at least, very least, directed the first two, gave up directorial duties and just helped with the story, produced, blah, blah, blah. The primary writer and director was Michael Sarnowski, who previously made Pig, which was a really fascinating and interesting small Nick Cage movie, like probably the most interesting that Nick Cage has been in the long run of very interesting Nick Cage roles. It's the one where he got the most kind of buzz for, hey, you know what, he kind of should be nominated for some rewards on this. He plays a former chef who is raising a pig and goes looking for the pig when it gets kidnapped. Anywho, neither here nor there. Not what you would expect. The guy who made that, not who you would expect to come in and be like, yeah, I'm gonna make a prequel for the Quiet Place movies. But damn, he really showed his directorial chops here. I'm flat out telling you. Yes, I liked it. 3 for 3 on the Quiet Place movies. This one just absolutely slammed, man. It just absolutely knew exactly what it wanted to do, and it was, we're introduced to Lupita Nyong'o, who plays Samira, who is a woman living in a hospice facility, uh, uh, and finds herself in Manhattan on sort of like a field trip, and happens to be also the day when these aliens that we know a lot about arrive on Earth, and we find out that they do the classic Independence Day type alien thing and go visit the major cities first. New York City being a major city on our planet, there's no avoiding that. It gets, it's one of the ones that they target, and just the chaos, the difficulty, the just inability to really know what the hell to do in the aftermath of this invasion, and how how vulnerabilities are not vulnerabilities, but how hunting tactics are discovered, and things like that. And it's really it unfolds with Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn, who people probably should know from Stranger Things. He plays Eddie Munson, from, I believe, season 3. Could have been season 4, but that was kind of where that was his big introduction. He's going to be in the Gladiator sequel coming up too. Lupita and Joseph Joseph's character Eric sort of meet up in the immediate aftermath of the chaos and sort of pair up as Lupita goes through the streets of Manhattan on a quest to get a last piece of pizza from her favorite pizza place. Um, and not just because it's the aliens that are there. I mean, she anticipates this being her last pizza for a lot of other reasons, and it's a really good coming together of two people getting to know each other, getting to know them, and getting to watch them maneuver through the obstacles that now exist, and try to survive. And look, I'm gonna do a quick box office thing. Inside Out 2, Juggernaut, holy crap, demolished. Not demolished, but 3 weeks in a row, number one. However, Quiet Place did win Friday. So that was the first day since its release that Inside Out did not win. So Inside Out won Friday, or I'm sorry, Quiet Place won Friday, but then Inside Out is like, yeah, well, kids are off from school today and we're not dependent on nighttime shows, so we're gonna just go ahead and take that back. Made another 50 plus mil. Quiet Place made 50 plus as well, and but a respectable 50 million, I would say. I would imagine that they were probably hoping for somewhere between 50 and 70, and they got 50, and so there you go. I hope it has legs. It's absolutely 100% worth it. If you've seen any of these movies and you're like, I don't know if I want to see it, go see the prequel, because and these are movies, because of the sound design, really work in a theater and really should be seen in a theater. You know, there's no there's no secret sauce behind these. There's no you're not going for in-depth human relations, although they do a good job of developing the characters. It's look, it's a monster horror movie and monster thriller horror movie, and you know what it is, and it really works. Lupita Nyong'o is so captivating. She's so freaking good. Can we just hand her another Oscar, please, at some point? Like, I'm not saying that she deserves it for this, although if she got nominated, I'd support. But yeah, I mean, she's just so good. So here at Real to Real Talk, we do tacos instead of stars, and if we feel like something deserves a little extra taco love, we will give it guac instead of saying half a taco. Why? Because nobody eats a half a fucking taco. So I'm going 4 tacos on A Quiet Place day one. I've been on a 4 taco swing. I don't know what to tell you. These movies are like, Inside Out 2, the week before, Bike Riders. These all, like, I'm excited and happy about all of them equally. None of them are like, oh my god, this is just like absolutely life changing for me. And they're 4 taco movies. It's not my fault that I'm giving them what they deserve. Okay, sorry, not sorry. The other movie I went and saw was the expanded Yargos Lanthimos movie, Kinds of Kindness. Now, Yargos Lanthimos last year had sort of like an indie type, although it wasn't necessary. It wasn't actually an indie movie, because it actually had rather a rather large budget. Was the movie oh, Pooh, what's it? Oh, Poor Things. So, Emma Stone famously won her next Oscar for Poor Things. And this was his follow-up with, again, Emma Stone. And Kinds of Kindness. The trailer was captivating. I'm just going to start there. That doesn't mean I didn't like it. I don't want to, telegraph my thoughts on this movie, but the trailer was really captivating. It divulges literally nothing. I mean, literally nothing, but it's put together in such a way that you're like, I kind of want to see these scenes and see how these play out and what's going on with these characters that are being presented. And what you don't know is that the characters that are presented are, while the same actors, are actually portraying three different characters. This is a compilation movie. This is a vignette movie. This is a movie of three short films strung together, loosely connected by um their by themes, I guess you could say. Uh it's not there. There's very little plot wise drawing them together. One of the sort of tertiary characters in the film appears in the first one, is hashtag spoiler, is killed, and then appears in the last one again, dead in the manner in which he was killed in the first one. And that's it. That's the only connective tissue from a story standpoint or from a character standpoint among these movies, or among these three short films. Everything else is very much just sort of a thematic connection. And the thematic connection is what's going on with people misconstruing horrible behavior as kindness, because this movie is completely devoid of kindness. It really is. The title, I really struggled with putting thoughts together on this one, because the and it stems from the title. I mean, poor things, you understand. Okay, it's it's a it's a play on the fact that actually the primary character has her shit together, and everybody around her is a poor thing that needs help and love. And when in fact the one character who probably should need the help and love gets her shit together pretty quickly. Um, The Lobster, one of his other movies, pretty straightforward, pretty obvious. The Favorite, pretty straightforward, pretty obvious. Definitely, the titles communicate things. Or are pretty straightforward and obvious. This title is not straightforward and obvious, and communicates. It's a fun, much like Poor Things. It's a fun, interesting take because it's really communicating the opposite. I mean, the these characters are so not kind to each other. It's really um it's really an exploration. It's easy to say that it's an exploration of cult, but that's not entirely accurate. Only because that is 100% true for the third film, 90% true for the first film, and just doesn't play into the second film at all. Um, I really say that it's an exploration of people who believe they're being kind in some way, shape, or form, when in fact it's just completely devoid of kindness. And I, I the vignettes, the shorts, they're not. It's not short. It's an hour, or it's 2:40. But the short films themselves are really captivating and interesting on their own. And then when you really hurt your head trying to make connections between them. And I I I know I'm missing something. I feel bad about my review because I feel like I really need like another week to stew on this, and I need a conversation with somebody who has seen it, who has some really interesting alternative insights, because this is a movie that um on first glance there are moments that really stick with you, but on the whole it sticks with you like a giant pancake breakfast, where it's just like, wow, that's thick and difficult and upsetting uh and delicious. It's delicious, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it goes down easy, man. And Kinds of Kindness, I if you're predisposed to Yargos Lanthimos's movies, I cannot possibly recommend this movie enough. If you're predisposed to liking Jesse Plemons, I cannot possibly recommend this movie enough. Same thing goes for Emma Stone or Willem Dafoe. All three of those actors, who are the three primary actors of the movie. And yeah, they're the top build. So the next two would be Margaret Qualley and Hong Chow. All five are just so interesting and fascinating and good in their lack of kindness. And um it man, I I don't I mean it's just go see it. Go see it. But also don't expect to fall in love with it, because I fell in love with Poor Things. I really fell in love with Poor Things. And it's a near perfect movie. And what I'm going to grade it is not a reflection of, oh, it's not as good as Poor Things. Well, it's not as good as Poor Things. But it's a totally different thing. And um, I I I not only struggled with making the connections from an analytical standpoint, but connections from a as a moviegoer. And I give it three tacos. I want to see it again. It's 100% worth checking out, but it's also 100% not an super easy movie. It's difficult. It's a thick one. It's definitely like a college course. You're gonna world cinema or compilation films, through film history type of, like we're gonna do shortcuts this week. Oh, and this week we're gonna do Kinds of Kindness, that kind of thing, where it's like um it is it's best when you take the time to really explore what's going on with it. So that's Kinds of Kindness. That's all I got this week. Next week's gonna be a super long show, because I'm gonna be seeing at least 3 movies and could be seeing up to 5. Um, we'll see. I'll definitely be going to see the new Minions movie, the Despicable Me 4. But we're going to be throwing in a whole bunch of other stuff too. So be sure to check us out. Check me out next week. I promise it's going to be awesome. This was Real to Real Talk. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you go to the movies this nice long weekend, holiday weekend coming up. Thanks. And have a wonderful, wonderful 4th of July.